Dan and Corey here, welcoming you into Libservative.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back.
Yeah, welcome in to another rousing rendition of Libservative, intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy, and the world's smartest internet show. Bodysnatcher, as always, on the ones and twos. He, as always, is Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
And we had some situations to monitor after last week's episode, did we not, Corey?
Yeah, we did. We had some situations to monitor.
I'm kind of upset with us right now because we talked not that long ago, maybe, I don't know, around Thanksgiving time, about how it was just slow. Just a slow period, tough to come up with topics. Now the world is burning down. Here we are. We got our wish.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about before the show how we essentially made a promise to not succumb to TDS. And it's fucking getting harder and harder every day.
Well, I guess it could be a little more understandable, seeing as the administration isn't exactly doing its best work shaking the Nazi moniker. I mean,
one of us, all of yours. Yeah, they're just fucking embracing it. You know, with the fucking Christy Nome puts a moniker that was made famous, a little slogan that was like made famous by the Nazis. And it's like, and you know what's fucking frustrating about that? Is the word Nazi has been beaten to fucking death so much that
it doesn't matter.
Now we just sound like another liberal.
Didn't know she was black.
Nazi. But and
I think it's a very rude introduction.
Like, obviously, if I had to choose between 2020 Trump and 2016 Trump, I'd probably take 2016 Trump. And I was thinking about this the other day on my ride home from school.
I mean 2026 Trump?
No,
that's the one you don't want. That's the one you don't want.
That's the one you don't
Gotcha.
want. Right. But no, I'm saying I'm saying like if I had to choose between having a 2016 Trump again or a 2020 Trump, and how I'd like to kick my own ass in 2016 for the things I was upset about, because we all still wet behind the ears and really knowing about politics or policy. It's that his last administration was a bunch of establishment, people. So they kind of were keeping the bumper guards up, kind of like keeping the safety foam on the edges of America. But now,
and not always in a good way, if I might add, and not always in a good way at all.
No, but now it's just a bunch of sycophants and yes men.
Yeah,
like be honest,
very
right
bizarre.
Now on January 15th, 2026, if January 6th is to happen again in 3 years, and it's up to Vance to make that decision that Pence made, what do you think he does?
That's a really, really, really good question. I mean, you'd like to think,
think he would follow the Constitution.
Here's the thing. I don't want to overstate it, because at the end of the day, had Pence made the other decision to not ratify the election, or if J.D. Vance were to do the same in some future election, it's not as scary as like the media would make it out to be, as it pertains to like what would actually happen next, right? Like it's mostly just a formality that the vice president is, quote unquote, ratifying the election. It would go to the Supreme Court, and whoever won the election would actually get, would take the Oval Office. So I don't want to overstate like, oh, this is trying to take down the system, which is what it's doing. But how much of it would also be performative?
Because how
much of it would also be performative is what I wanted to say.
It would probably all be performative, right?
Right.
And this is the other fucking annoying thing, is everyone keeps trying to say, oh, he's shrinking the government. You want smaller government, aren't you happy about that? And it's like he's shrinking it in like 30% of the shit that I would agree with, and then he's expanding the other 70% that I also wanted shrunk.
Oh, you mean like how libertarians are supposed to believe that it's ending the Fed if the president just takes over the Fed? You heard about that, right?
Oh yeah, he's like he's going after Powell now. Yeah, and it's, you're right. Oh yeah, no, I said that today to a guy at work. I said, it's funny, like because he's like, you say have conservative tropes. Conservative tropes. I was like, no, they're not conservative. I don't want the government involved in any of it. My personal beliefs about my personal life are very different than me trying to enforce that on anyone else in this fucking country.
You're fired. Get out of here.
And it's just, he's like I was like, oh yeah, like conservatives, what they'll say is, oh, he's bullying the Fed. He's making the Fed lower their rates. He's like, and it's like, I don't want a Fed.
Right, at all.
like there's a difference. Like
artificially lowering interest rates is not good for inflation. It's not good for anybody.
Right.
It's not how it works. It's not how markets or prices work.
Right.
Not good.
And this is what here's an example of what I mean by the way. He's like expanding the federal government, right? He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Good.
Sold.
I think each state should be able to handle their Department of Education, and you have 50 experiments going on in this country, and then states can take good ideas from states and avoid bad ideas from other states. And
very successful, very
and
rich.
I like that idea. But then he comes through and tries to mandate what they're going to teach anyways. What the fuck is that? I'm supposed to be happy about that?
So that is centralizing.
He's trampling all over the 9th Amendment. He's trampling all over the 10th Amendment. And I'm sure people have done it in the past, but it feels like he's very, very weaponizing the 9th Amendment. And just because the 9th Amendment is what it says, anything not stated, or I might have them flip-flopped. The 10th, I think, actually is the one that says like anything that's not stated here explicitly as a right to the American citizens, because it's not also talked about against, that it's just deemed legal.
Powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited into the states or reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
Right. That's the 9th, right?
That's the 10th Amendment.
Okay, so then the 9th.
That's the full text, yeah.
Okay, so then the 9th, I was right, I guess initially. The 9th is the one that talks about like just because it's not stated as a right here, it doesn't mean it isn't.
The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
Right.
That's
like basically saying like
text.
Just because we didn't say it's a right to the American people, they're not constrained to the only rights we gave them.
We didn't give them anything.
Huh?
The Constitution doesn't give you rights; it protects your right, your God-given rights.
Right. Well,
from the
you
government.
understand
That's what it does.
Yeah.
But don't say that in front of a constitutionalist. They will throw a fit at you.
Sure, but what I'm saying is, it's basically the 9th Amendment is solidifying what you just said.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And like,
but I had to correct you because you said government gave us rights.
No, you're right. That's very important. It's a very important distinction.
Very important distinction.
But it's he's trampling all over that, and then he's trampling all over the 10th about the states. Like he's just like trying to federalize. Like you go in, you have the worst. You're going in with as a wrecking ball in a china shop, and then it's pissing off the sovereign state, and the state is like, "Yo, hold on, we don't like how you're doing this," and he goes, "That's insurrection. I'm gonna federalize the military or the National Guard here." Like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to be happy about that?
Yeah, and to your point about, quote unquote shrinking of he's not shrinking government, he's just centralizing it. Because it's not just about getting rid of the departments and the committees and the NGOs to save tax dollars. Yeah, that's a huge part of it, but it's also the reduction of government power that people want. They're not just looking to save money. The other part's really important too. Yeah,
and no, it's you save the money is basically crippling the machine that's taking your rights. You get your rights back. Like it's the money, like, you know what I mean? The money is a tool they use
that we've seen
to continue to expand their enforcement of power, like of oppression on you. But like you take the money away, it takes away their funding, which is good. But then also the rights are pretty fucking
rights are a big part of it too. Yeah, that's I would say it's more important than the money, to be honest.
Between the two, yeah, I think between the two, I'd take the rights.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
rights, right?
Are we allowed to say the word Gestapo on Twitter or on X? I should say. Are we allowed to say the word Twitter on X? I don't even know anymore. So some updates on the Renee Good stuff, because it was so fresh last week. We didn't want to go overboard and say anything that we I don't know. I guess we didn't want to dive into it because we didn't know quite enough, right? Nobody wants to look like a jackass in the long run. We've done that to ourselves many times in the past. Here's my first takeaway, and then I'll kind of let you give your take after we've kind of let a week go by here, Corey. This is an example of how we've reached a place where everybody just sees whatever the fuck they want to see. Like we had this impression, and don't get me wrong, I'm not upset that the videos are available. I'm glad they're out there, but like I think 15 years ago when we had this perception of everything's going to be on video, like, oh, cool, then the fucking smoking guns are always going to be right there when anything happens. And now it's just, you've already made up your mind, and people watch these super hyper politicized things, even where people lose their lives. I shit you not, Corey, like it's an NFL football game. And the official is doing video replay, and you're looking at the slow-mo, and if the team that you're rooting for needs the play overturned, you're going to be pissed when the call stands. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way people are watching this stuff. Like, it's video replay in an NFL football game, and you're going to see what you want based on whichever team you're rooted for.
Right. And here's the thing. How are they going to see it? On their phone. From someone they follow. So the headline is going to build the narrative already.
Fair enough.
So they're going to read it, and it's just going to be activist tries to run over cop.
Or something to that effect, yes.
And so you're going to, ICE agent. So you're going to watch that video with that preconceived fucking narrative already.
And so then to reverse it, it's going to be federal agent shoots woman in the face 3 times.
Murders mother.
Right. Yeah, there you go. There's a good one.
And you're going to see it as that. Yeah, it is. The narrative's already there. So when it comes to the videos, that's the part that's frustrating. It's because, like, not everyone, I guess, takes their time, because it's like, I guess I am black-pilled because, like, I'm ready to argue with a liberal if it's clearly a murder.
I'm calling Dan Bongino. I'm calling him.
I'm ready to argue with a liberal when it's being objective about something. And then I'm ready to argue with a conservative when it's a clear murder. Kind of like how this Renee Good one doesn't look so good.
Shut up, bitch!
No, the ICE officer said fucking bitch after he killed her.
Oh, yeah. After he walked away. So, like,
listen,
I've kind of...
Dan, but listen, he's a highly, highly trained ICE official. You know,
dude,
the whole 47 days. You know that, right? Wait, you know that, right? You know that they only get 47 days of training.
Yeah, but he's a vet, though. The dude's been around for, like, 10 years as an ICE agent.
And
that's
also
confirmed.
A workers' comp fucking scammer. This is the second time he got hit by a car. It's like he's doing it on purpose.
Dude, okay, so we're still sitting here on January 15th. We're about a week out. It's 8:24 p.m. right now as we record this. I still, to this minute, don't know if that car actually hit him.
I don't either. That's the thing.
Nobody does. Everybody thinks they do, but nobody does.
And there's, like, weird legal ground with, like, the state laws and, like, the federal laws. And I think Minnesota's one of those states. And Bell, could you confirm this? I think Minnesota is one of those states that the officer is allowed to shoot if he thinks his life is being threatened with a vehicle. Now,
correct. Can we talk about how most of these guys are, I should say all of these guys.
Discretion. It's to the officer's discretion. And everyone paints everybody with, like, this weird us team versus them, to where it's like, when you're criticizing that situation, you're criticizing that ICE officer. It's not every ICE officer is that doing that. Fuck, there's 4,000 of them in Minneapolis. There'd be, like, the death tolls of Iran. in their protests that we're going to go to war for, by the way, for their
We'll get there.
protests where they're burning mosques and doing all that and like destroying property and like attacking police, but they're peaceful protesters and we're going to go to war for them. But then in America, they're domestic terrorists.
Yeah,
It's
I'll put it
insane
this
that
way.
everyone watches Star Wars and loves the rebels when we're the fucking Empire.
Yeah, I know. Everybody thinks they're the rebels. Everybody wants to believe it. Rebels run by corporation.
But yeah, it's everyone makes the decision before they even watch the full video because they're reading the comments of people they like because they think like them. You know what I mean? And it's like
everybody sees what they want to see. And I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you how I chose this. You want to hear how I chose the side on this?
Sure.
It's real simple. I think you can. I think you could probably. Yeah. Well, I think you could probably guess how I chose the side on this. I'm just generally not going to be on the side of the federal government. It's like, to me, it's pretty easy. Yeah. I don't want to be an absolutist. I don't want to say that there's no situation where I would ever be on the side of the federal government. For example, if we were actually bombed by another nation and like a war was started, then I might be on the side of the federal government. But 99.9% of the time, I'm going to choose the side that isn't the side of the federal government. But there's another point to this. I think it probably happened after October 7th and after all of the bombing started in Gaza. And then it certainly hit home with me when Charlie Kirk was murdered. I ask myself a pretty simple question. When any of these like hyper politicized tragedies, come about, which is, who is being dehumanized and why? And I'm going to be on the side that's not doing that.
It's a fair assessment.
They did the bullshit
Or
with like
conclusion.
So you want to dehumanize, a horrible politician? I'm not going to care nearly as much. But like, was somebody injured, maimed, killed that has very, very little power? Are you or a group of people? Are those the people being dehumanized? Because I'm not going to be on the side that's doing that. I guess just to add to that.
Yeah, that's a fair. I mean, that's wow.
Oh, God,
virtue signal are over here.
I can already, but hold on, wait a minute. I can already see people jumping in the comments being like, "Well, the left is dehumanizing the ICE officer too. So what now, Mr. Smarty Pants?" Because it's coming. Somebody's gonna say that shit. There's always one.
I was looking for it, but now the timing's off.
Yeah, you suck.
You suck, you jackass. But anyways, so what I was gonna say is like it's crazy because like people hate it when you try to look at it like in a rational way. They just want you to either agree with it or disagree with it. And it's like,
because it's football, dude. It's pro football.
And it's like when someone is like, what could happen? And you just go, he shouldn't even have had the job in the first place. The guy had PTSD and like, I guess he's a veteran, but he's been hit by a car more than once. He doesn't make great decisions.
I don't think the PTSD has been confirmed yet, Corey.
I'm just not. If you ever got hit with a car and then you were dumb enough to put yourself in front of a car and it hit the gas, wouldn't you immediately assume they're going for you? Yeah. I've never been hit by a car. Well, actually, I've been hit by a car once, but but I've never been in the situation where a car was in front of me where it was like this person might hit me, and been like, I should stand here. I know, dude,
and then you have to cap that off with the fact that
47 days of training.
You have to cap that off with the fact that like every law enforcement person that I've heard talking about this has said like,
don't stand in front of the car.
You never fucking put yourself in front of a car.
Why would you?
And they even say generally not behind one if you can avoid it, but certainly not in front of one. It's just like,
I was just thinking, you think when he walked up in front of the car and pulled his, like the reason he pulled his gun out because he walked in front of the car and was like, wait a minute, this is familiar. And and then pulls his
no,
gun
it's
out
like-
next thing you know, there's
Well, no, like think
Uh-huh.
about it. If he was truly afraid of being hit by this car and he saw it as a threat of it being her weapon, he wouldn't be
Wouldn't have been
standing in front of it with recording with his fucking phone.
yeah, no, I
He was
know.
acting like what they would say like a liberal protester, just has their phone out and walking around and shit. Like, give me a fucking break. Like he legally, this is the part that frustrates people who think it's a murder. Legally, I guess he kind of had the right to do it.
Yeah. Oh, look, well, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to defend.
prove,
It's
especially
going to
if
be
the
hard to
bond's due, like-
defend. It's going to be hard to defend the second and third shot.
Yeah.
That's the part. If there ever is a trial, which I don't think there will be. I don't think there's going to be charges. There's certainly not any federal charges.
It's like, oh yeah, qualified immunity.
But if there ever was, his anger would come up in court. The second and third shot would come up in court. These are things that the prosecution would certainly bring forward because, him yelling fucking bitch after she drives away. If I'm the prosecution, I'm
And no
going,
one
hey,
thinks
he didn't
about-
seem afraid. He seemed angry.
And no one thinks about like the third, fourth, and fifth consequences, right? We're normalizing domestic terrorists. You don't think if this shit really stirs the pot and a bunch of people on the left start attacking a bunch of people on the right, and then the president changes, right, to a Democratic or like a liberal president, and then the right is pissed. So then they're doing their shit and doing protests and stuff. You don't think that the Democrats or any of them are going to quick to label them domestic terrorists now?
I have the answer.
It's just,
Execute Order 66.
you think the next party, after getting the shit kicked out of them for 4 years, is going to turn around and just be like, all right.
Well, yeah, I think they kind of will.
They
think they
tried it
kinda
in
will.
2020. It didn't work because they put a fucking fresh skinned fucking geriatric who didn't know where
Tastes
the
like
fuck he was in
cigarettes.
charge.
She tastes like cigarettes.
But yeah, so
that's mean.
like legally he could do it, and it's so ambiguous. You could argue that she tried to hit him, but it's like when you look at the video, the wheels were turned right. He obviously didn't see it as a threat right away, and this is like, I don't know, man. It just looked like piss poor fucking policing. The guy's a fucking idiot. And it looks like he was like, when they talk about people who take this job, they're like, just to be able to do something in this scenario, it's like that seems like him doing it in this scenario. Like this is what he signed up for. It just
We
seems
have
like it.
white privilege.
You know what I mean? And it's, she also shouldn't have fucking been there.
Yeah,
You know,
it's very
like,
Kyle.
I
It's
get-
very Kyle Rittenhouse, isn't it? Except in the opposite direction,
Yeah.
right? Because what did I always say? I always said Kyle Rittenhouse is not a martyr. He was a dumb kid trying to do some hero thing,
And the law was on
but-
his side.
but he also did not murder anybody that day and shot 3 men in self-defense. Right? So it's like both things can be true at the same time. Like she can be the annoying lesbian loudmouth libtard mom from Minneapolis who's a pain in the ass that I would probably never get along with. It's still a tragedy she's dead, and also the federal government is still responsible for her death. Like this isn't hard to. I don't think it's that hard if you take your enough of your emotions out of it.
So it's shitty. When bad meets evil. You know what I mean? Fucking
Right.
shout out Eminem, Race to 5'9". Here's the name of one of their albums. But
I'm sure they're listening.
right.
Royce might be. Who knows?
Uh,
Royce might be.
Eminem, I feel like, is chronically online. He's just sitting there watching shit and then writing shit on napkins and then just comes out with a fucking banger of an album.
Fucking white people.
Figuring out how to rhyme words like door and apple.
Did you see Tim Dillon's solution to solve the problem of like what actually happened in these videos?
Oh yeah, show it to a 5-year-old.
He just keeps going around showing it to 6-year-olds. Obviously it's a joke.
Right.
So, some people
when I
you
heard it,
have to tell
when I
some people
heard
that
it-
Tim Dillon's not a comedian. I found that out the other day.
When I heard
Or
it,
that Tim Dillon is a comedian. Sorry. It came out
Okay.
wrong.
someone just found that out. You said?
No, I said you actually have to tell people sometimes that Tim Dillon's a comedian, that he's not just a political commentator.
Right. It's like when I heard that, I was like, should I show my son? And then I was like, no, I shouldn't show my son.
Yeah. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit.
No, I'm kidding,
God.
obviously. Like,
I mean, the world's so crazy. I wouldn't have been surprised if it seriously entered your mind for a few seconds.
it's wild out there, Dan.
The mental gymnastics is
But
pretty
yeah,
fantastic.
at the end of the
though.
day, remember, any law made can ultimately have an arm holding a gun, enforcing it, as trivial as it is. And it's just this shit is the precedent is being set to just flip it. Because the reason why ICE is even there is because Bush made it, and then Obama used the shit out of it. It slowly creates precedents, and now here where we are.
with a masked Gestapo on the streets, and I don't feel embarrassed.
Yeah, they don't
calling
have
them a
badge
Gestapo.
numbers. Well, right, they don't have badge numbers. They're wearing masks. The Secretary Noem is telling Americans that it's illegal to record them.
We got a really good one that JD Vance said last week. Bell's got the video. JD Vance, have you seen the absolute immunity video? A lot of people that are watching our show have probably seen it because it's kind of old, but I want to play it because I want you to see just how he says it. Go ahead and roll it, Bell.
Thanks for taking my question.
So happy. Look at him. Look how happy he is.
Investigations agencies
It looks like he's got acorns in his cheeks.
Essentially cut off the state investigations agencies' access to the investigation. What is the precedent for that, and why shouldn't the Minnesota officials on the ground have access and evidence to work on this investigation?
First of all, I wish the state officials in Minnesota would investigate why you have so many people who are using their vehicles and other means to actually
Deflection.
interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation. The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job. The idea that Tim Walz and a bunch of radicals in Minneapolis are going to go after and make this guy's life miserable because he was doing the job that he was asked to do is preposterous.
That sounds like
I
a
love
very
watching his political career just tank, though.
that to me sounds like the voice of a man who knows what he's saying is bullshit, but he's so mad that he has to protect himself and his administration that he has to just say whatever comes out of his mouth. JD Vance
You're just like
JD Vance went to
basically-
what? Yale, right? He's got a law degree.
But yeah,
this guy knows that no federal officers have quote unquote absolute immunity, and he still let that stupid word slide out of his mouth.
Yeah, no, I love how you're adding credibility. Exactly what I'm saying. It's interesting to watch his like political futures just diminish by the day. It's interesting because he went from this guy who didn't like Trump, and this and that, and was just like kind of populist. Like, you remember he was all about. Remember I think we showed on our show videos of him standing in the creek in where was that? Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah, East Palestine. Yeah,
East Palestine. And remember there was videos of him in the creek, and we were saying, "Wow, check this out!" It's like, wow. It looks like there might be some sort of growth in our country that Republicans are concerned about the environment. Do you remember we had that fucking conversation? And and he went from that like populist and talking about trying to end doing stock bans and shit.
They always make us look dumb.
And then
whenever we praise any politician ever, Corey, the only person that hasn't let us down yet, and God help me if he does, is Thomas Massey. Every other politician that we have ever praised, including Rand Paul, who we mostly like, has let us down time and time again. Every time we praise him.
I mean, there's a Bernie Sanders. There was
100%. Tulsi Gabbard,
AOC, Mamdani, even for a little bit there, just for like it being grassroots and shit. And then he cucked out to the establishment. Like, in like 35 seconds.
You can just shut up, baby, because you hate America and you love abortion.
But yeah, no, it's like, you're right. Every single one. I said that to someone the other day. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I have no love. I do not fawn for any of them. Every single politician I've ever liked has let me down.
Except for Thomas Massey.
Except for Thomas Massey. I don't know if I like him. He's cool. I'm even afraid. Like, yeah, I've been hurt, Dan. I'm even afraid to say
I know.
like a politician.
You've been hurt. You have been hurt. It's not to say that Thomas Massey's made no mistakes. I think he's been wrong on like some stupid trivial issues that I don't really care about, but on the stuff that
he'll
matters.
do that thing, letting good be the enemy of great or perfect.
Yeah. Sometimes that's about it. I can live with that for now. He's the last bastion. He's the last bastion of hope.
He was on Breaking Points the other day.
Was he? I must have missed that one.
Mm-hmm. They had on Elizabeth Warren and Thomas Massey. Ryan Grimm and oh fuck, I always forget her name.
Did they make out after?
What's the girl's name?
He didn't hear that question. Emily Jashinsky?
I did, but like, huh?
Emily Jashinsky?
Yeah, Emily. Ryan and Emily.
Come on now, you expect me to believe that?
You're not that smart. I know what's going on. You're just showing off on friggin' TV again.
The mental gymnastics is fun though, because
yeah, we went off on a tangent there.
This is the right wing's version of a Kyle Rittenhouse lie, though, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of seems like that.
Yeah, and it's to steal it kind of like from not even Dave. It was Robbie the Fire Bernstein. I'm part of the problem. When he said he goes like obvious, like it's kind of the same thing. Obviously, I think the state killing someone is wrong, but when you know that we have a government that has an agenda and they have no problem using force to complete that agenda, both foreign and domestic, I personally wouldn't put myself in that position to allow the government to use force on me. In like that type of situation. Yeah, and that's fair. And then another thing about it is like, what pisses me off about all of this is the same thing I've kind of been bitching about recently on the show for maybe a couple months now, is all of the protesting just seems performative because
all the time. I've been saying this for years, Corey. You're finally coming around.
Right. Well, you protest to bring attention to something. Obviously, like when there's a shooting or something like that, you can protest in the streets, get everyone's attention about it. But then after you get everyone's attention about it, that group is supposed to go and create a ballot initiative or a petition or start a grassroots fucking...
And instead they rely on Sheree Tanadar to offer up fucking papers for impeachment.
No, yeah, it's like they all get together. Like there's obviously one common cause, but then there's like no civic engagement after that. They take a couple pictures and it makes them feel good, and they can post it like they're doing something, and they go home and they don't do anything afterwards. Now that's a broad brush stroke. I'm sure there's people in these groups that are actually doing like petitions and volunteering, like because like look at Michigan. Michigan, for example, is a ballot initiative state. So like we can get whatever we fucking want passed here. We get enough signatures to put on a thing and then have everyone sign it. We want the seatbelt law repealed. Get a petition. You know what I mean? Like
nobody cares enough to sign it.
Yeah, right. Then if no
come on now, you expect me to believe that?
Doesn't happen, but it's like the protesting is only a fraction of what you have to do. Like the Constitution is on you, the people's fucking side.
Well,
and no one does the work.
Slowly, that's being eroded, but that's again to your point.
And
that's our fault.
Nobody does the fucking work, and that's the part that pisses me off now at this point with like protests. And it's like, if there's a protest that's worthy, you best believe I'll be out there. I go to protests. I'm not knocking them. I've been to a few of them. But there's more to it than just writing a catchy slogan on a poster board and walking and doing just a 5-mile slow walk.
And telling the bad guys how bad they are really loudly.
And then going home and then posting pictures of it. Like, that's the part that frustrates me about it. Like, this many people go out and protest. Like, you see some of these protests, there's always like thousands and thousands of people. It's like, you know, tell me they're not like, there's your change. It was 3% of the American population that started the fucking revolution. 3% of our, it's like what, 3 million people? 3 million people can make a huge change in our country. And they just, y'all really loud, take a couple pictures, post it on Facebook, go home, and then instead of like,
dude, your black pill is showing right now.
taking the hours to like go and like again, like start whatever, volunteer for a grassroots organization, volunteer for a campaign.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Arguing with people on Facebook. And I'm not perfect. I haven't done any volunteering in a while because I've been going to school and I have a 6-year-old and I work. So it's like, and I'm an avid disc golfer. So it's a lot going on.
You're sounding like somebody who is slowly morphing more right wing, Corey. You're bettering your education. You're trying to buy a home.
Dude, that's a liberal elitist thing, remember?
But you're trying to buy a home. You're focusing on your family. You dirty fucking fascist, you.
What an asshole.
You son of a bitch. Your nuclear family. Why don't you go work for PragerU? Get off this damn podcast.
Fuck yourself.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I don't, there's just video after video after video. And it's almost like when you're watching what's going on in Minneapolis right now with the riots, protest, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the hullabaloo that's going on.
Civil disobedience.
You could genuinely ask yourself sometimes, like, is this fucking Minneapolis or is this the West Bank? When you're talking about, like, masked federal officers with no names or badge numbers, just, like, in a crowd pushing back people. Like, it's like, where are we right now?
Of all the bad things we could say about ICE, you know what we can say about them?
Uh-oh.
They're not being racist. They're killing white people. They're detaining white people.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Black people, like, dude, just like, you type in ICE on, you know, TikTok and all the different people who are just sharing videos of what's going on. It's like,
and none of it is of melting water, just melting
white women,
water.
White women on their way to work. This girl in her fucking nursing clothes getting pulled out of her car and then being released, you know, 3 minutes later because she showed her papers.
Yeah.
There was a black family. I can pull up the video. Hey, Bill, actually pull up the video. 6-month-old flashbang inside a car. So this black guy and his family, they're in their house and the protests are going on outside in the street. And they're shooting tear gas. He has a 6-month-old. Tear gas, I guess, is coming into the house. So he tries to get his family in the car to leave and get the hell out of there because he has a 6-month-old. And ICE fucking threw a flashbang in his car.
Do we know this for sure?
I got the video right here. Add that to the stage, Bell.
This is his account. This
is
the gentleman's account.
Play it. Yeah, talking to the
It's not fuck the car, my kid. Yeah, the ambulance is bringing my newborn out the house because we can't breathe. How long? 6 months. And the fucking officer, I told him I was trying to leave. It was
not exactly a newborn, but we're talking semantics.
Yes, he literally saw us trying to leave. Yeah, they 3 flashbangs at my car. Yes, they hit the outside under my car.
Made the fucking airbags go off.
Damn, it is a flashbang.
Yeah, they look that's my car. But fuck the car. I'm worried about my kids.
Video of the event, or it didn't happen. And even if you have video of the event, nobody's going to agree on what actually happened in the video, so it doesn't even matter.
Like when you have kids, and because he said there's a longer one that wasn't the one, unfortunately, but he was like, I'm not even a part of this. You guys just try to get out of here. And think about it. Belle, you understand. If on your street, Dan doesn't have kids, so it's I'm gonna bring you in. But you don't have kids, Dan, but you have dogs and stuff. But on your street, these shit is starting to pop off. You're not gonna sit in your house. You think about your kids, and I don't want my kids to see this. I don't want them around this. I'm leaving.
Right.
Very conservative of you, Corey, thinking of your family like that. Right. Better watch yourself.
Because before I had a kid, I would have been about that business. I've been out there just watching.
Dude, before you had a kid, you would have been in that.
Right. No, a kid does change you. I was the guy that would always talk, stop and talk to homeless people and give them $1, and bullshit with them for a minute. But when I have a kid, you best believe it's I'm shuffling him over a little bit and then just walking by, and I'm putting a buffer of me between him and a homeless person.
And then he looks, and then he looks up at you so elegantly and
Daddy,
says,
"You're my daddy."
Yes, that is what he says, Dan. And I'm like, that's right, my boy.
He does a really good Trump impression too. It's amazing.
It's great. But yeah, dude, this guy legitimately wasn't about that life. He was just trying to fucking leave. An American citizen, and ICE did that. There's video, it's just the 17-year-old. Did you hear about the 17-year-old at the Target? He got
and then they dumped him in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, a 17-year-old U.S. citizen.
Papers, please.
Yeah, papers, please.
Because it's starting to look like it's almost like, and again, you have to take with a grain of salt, fucking Twitter and social media, because it's always the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst that you're gonna see and that goes viral. And I understand that. So you have to.
And it's the algorithms put it in the narrative that you want to see. Yeah.
Yep. You do have to factor that in. So things always look a zillion times worse than they actually are. But these are scenarios where it's I don't know, kind of once or twice is enough, especially when you're talking about the federal government just openly infringing on the rights of United States citizens. And by that I just mean they have a right to their own they have the right to the same rights under the Constitution against you as they would against their municipal police department, whom we've shit on a bunch of times for bad policing, name your time, but they're not doing this shit.
You want to make police look better? Put ICE in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's insane. Trying to say that it's illegal to record, and police officers have to have body cams. Belle, look this one up. Do ICE agents have to? I don't think they have to legally wear body cams. I don't think any of them are wearing body cams. They don't have a badge number. You can't identify that officer if he does accost you.
They're afraid of being doxxed, Corey. That's why they have masks. That's why they don't have names on their person. That's why they don't have badge numbers.
Yeah,
they are required to wear body cams during most enforcement activities for transparency. Most.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, that's rather ambiguous.
The biggest load that we've seen.
Because when they try to say body cam footage from that officer, that wasn't body cam footage. That was
he was recording on his phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody leaked it. He leaked. He might. I don't remember if it was him or not. Oh, now he has internal bleeding. And we don't even know if he was. Was okay? Has anybody else picked up that story since last night, other than CBS?
That he had internal bleeding.
Yes,
I think.
Fox and that isn't, and that isn't super pro Trump. Is there any did Ken Klippenstein investigate this yet?
I know. Where's Matt Taibbi? I haven't even seen anything
Right.
of him pop up. I need Dan Carlin to come out with a common sense episode.
He just did. So he just
My
did
wheels
like
are
March. So,
reeling.
so it's not going to happen for another 3 years.
Fuck.
Do you want
got to
to
be
fuck off?
raging, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, what is he doing? He's got to be raging.
He's a very thoughtful man.
Stewing. I know, but like for the sake of your own mental health, like this show right here is like talk therapy for me. Like I get all of this out, and it's just like, and then
I got something that'll help. I got a video that'll help. Did you see the video? I think I showed you guys pre-show, but we can show it to the people. The fuck off Fed video.
Oh, there we
So
go.
everybody is getting wiser to, and again, it's always going to depend on who's in power. So I guess if you want to take something good out of this, which we always try to do, we always try to find something, even in the shittiest of times, right? Everybody is getting wiser to federal agents and federal law enforcement undercover folks rolling into any sort of protest and trying to stir up shit. You now even have the most liberal of liberal protest spaces, which is what's going on in Minneapolis, doing the exact same thing. Do you have it, Bell, or did I not send you that one?
Oh, which
The
one?
fuck off Fed video.
Oh yeah, you definitely sent me that one.
Throw that
I'm
one up
sitting here
there.
looking through it. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
he's
looking
grabbing
through
it.
it.
Funny because the
I'm trying to feed
agitators-
Corey a white pill here.
Well, there's agitators at like every protest and stuff like that. I remember one time, and it was like I went to the protest. It was the one in Sterling Heights, and it was so sanitized. Like it was so like like commercialized. Like like people were sitting on the side of the road like it was the Woodward Dream Cruise. Like all the cops were being super friendly. Like it was like not manufactured dissent. You know what I mean? It was something like that. But there was this girl on the center berm, and she was dressed in like almost like a toga, but then also had an American flag draped around her. And she was singing to the other side of the road where you couldn't really hear her because you were like walking in the big group. And during this whole thing, there were people driving down the road, down Hall Road, the opposite way with Trump flags and stuff as like the anti-protesters. And she was singing to them, and they were all like beeping for her and shit. And at the end of like the march, you know, everyone like gets together and people give speeches and they say things. And she came up and she tried to talk. And it's like, I saw like everyone saw exactly what she was doing. And she was coming there to be an agitator. And we shut her down and told her to get the fuck on. Like you aren't doing this shit. Like what the hell?
Corey's experience. It seems like you can always pick out who they are too. Go ahead and roll this, Bell. This is too fucking funny.
Fuck your flag burning, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah. Why would you run off? Why would you run off? That's weird to burn a flag and run off. That doesn't make sense. That's not a protest.
Why are you not back there at the protest? We got everybody riled up. You came here to do what? You a boogaloo boy? You an accelerationist? What are you doing here? Where's your car? Where you from? Why are you here?
There's people watching them.
Yeah, we know. We remember George Floyd, so we know you guys are around.
Yeah.
Fuck your flag burning, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Fucking feds.
Yeah.
They're just like everybody there is just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Fucking Fed, get the hell out of here.
But like seeing that shit when it just seems out of place. Like I remember being at one, and it's like that's what you're fucking doing.
Everybody can kind of sense it. So Liberty says that ICE is killing far fewer people than those killed among the 50 people shot every day, every week. I think it might even be more than that in Chicago. Every week for years, but no one ever says anything about that. I got two things for that. One, people talk about that all the time. But two, this is also the federal government committing violence
Yeah.
against American citizens.
So right,
One
so
of these
are
things
we-
is not like the other.
So are we right? So in saying that, are we lowering the bar for the federal government to just
To be like gangs in Chicago? Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing.
to be like gangs in Chicago? Then okay, yeah, our government is just a gang like one in Chicago. That's fine. Or are we saying that that shit's terrible and that the government should be better? Right?
The
Like it's-
government be better. Nobody's responsible for more deaths than the U.S. government. Just pick your method. So it's like, you factor that in. It's like, okay, yeah, ICE might be responsible for less deaths, but the federal government's not. ICE is part of the federal government. Boom!
Yeah. And they're also killing American citizens. Which reminds me, Belle, go ahead and play the video. Press secretary says what? It plays right into this, what we're talking about.
Press secretary says what?
Yeah, press secretary says what? Basically, like it's
Caroline Levitt, she's so pretty.
Someone, I think it sounds like a foreign reporter, and we're probably never going to see him again because they're probably going to pull his press privileges after this stuff.
Probably.
But you know,
Don't get bogged down by all the haters out there.
You remember when they said that they're going to be the most transparent government ever?
Yeah, something like that. They said a lot of things. They don't even remember what they said last week. How the hell am I supposed to remember what they said last year?
Yeah, didn't Trump just recently say, he's like, I don't know how Jerome Powell got appointed? And he's the one that fucking appointed him?
It's just like, whatever happened last week doesn't matter this week. We got something new for you.
I never sucked any ding-dongs.
Go ahead and roll this bell. Oh, or not. Corey, you got something else to say?
I was going to say, yeah, go ahead and play that.
All right. For sure this time.
Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally. And earlier on, Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE. And Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Jesus
because
Christ.
You're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you,
She's
and
learned
people
from
in
the
media
best.
who have such biases, but fake,
Yep.
like you're a journalist. You shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying
Did
to
he
remove from
even
the
get a
country?
question
I
out?
bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Lake and Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
We're not going to allow illegal immigrants to kill American citizens. We're going to do it.
Say nothing.
Like, that's what I got from that. Like the way she goes, oh, yeah, but illegals kill
Shut up,
too.
bitch!
It's like, is that the bar now? Like, is there a tally? Do they have a tally on the whiteboard of how many citizens ICE killed and how many citizens illegal aliens killed? And it's like, as long as it's less.
I don't even
We're
think he
doing
got
good.
I don't even think he got a question out. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, his bias is clearly
He didn't
left
get a
wing.
question out.
Like
Yeah.
we kind of all gathered that from the question that he was about to ask. But like, one of the things I kind of, in a sick way, admire about really both Trump administrations has just been this idea that, like, deflect and answer the question you want to answer. That strategy has just been so, like, they've outdone themselves with it. They're not trying to hide it. It's just deflect from whatever the question is, answer the question you want to answer. That's like the number one technique by politicians in these fucking press conferences. And they're just brazen about it. And I kind of respect it a little bit.
How dare you even question the crown? You foreigner. You don't belong in that seat. You don't belong in America.
Yeah, he definitely had like a Northern Ireland accent, it sounded like.
I'm surprised ICE didn't come in mid fucking conference and grab him.
Papers, please.
yeah, papers. Come on, let's go.
Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Oh,
he sounded wasted, which is a little bit of a stereotype for the Irish. So
yeah, that is a stereotype for us. Cheers.
She tastes like cigarettes.
No, she does not.
Life isn't about getting drunk and eating chicken fingers all the time, all right?
So the Venezuela update, I almost feel like we don't even need to do it because nobody cares about Venezuela anymore after just a couple of days when it was looking like when Marco Rubio was sitting there going, all right, what the hell is going to be our plan for Cuba now that we've got Venezuela? And then Bibi jumped in the fray and went, no, Iran first. Iran first. We have to do Iran first. Cuba's always going to be there. Been there forever.
I guess it's not about the Western Hemisphere anymore.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Dude, these
It's
quote unquote I'm being driven nuts by these protests in Iran because nobody has a fucking clue what's happening and everyone thinks they know exactly what the hell's going on.
So it's a pretty short read, and I'll just read it. But this is from the Jerusalem Post. Might give you an idea of what's going on. Title: How deeply are Israel's Mossad spy masters involved in Iran protest crisis? Analysis: When it comes to the spy agency in Iran, there is always far more than meets the eye. The IDF and Israel in the public sphere are doing all they can to stay out of the current Iran protest crisis to avoid being caught in Tehran's crosshairs with ballistic missile fire. But what about the Mossad in the shadows? First of all, Mossad is less in the shadows in the Islamic Republic than it used to be. Last June, Mossad had hundreds of agents involved in Israel's 12-day war that set back Iran's nuclear weapons program, ballistic missiles program, air defense systems, and killed dozens of its top military intelligence officers. Following the war, Mossad Director David Barnea released a rare and shocking statement foreshadowing the spy agency's activities in Tehran. Israel will continue to be there, like we have been there, he told the Mossad and the general public. On December 29th, what is dubbed the Mossad X Twitter account in Farsi encouraged Iranians to protest against the Iranian regime, telling them that it is literally physically with them at the demonstrations. Go out together in the streets. The time has come, Mossad wrote. We are with you, it added. Not only from a distance and verbally, we are with you in the field. Although Mossad sources have denied any form of connection to the account, it is well known that the Mossad, the CIA, and other agencies often use fronts which are not formally connected to them to carry out covert operations or psychological warfare. For example, in July 2020, explosions and destruction of Iran's nuclear facility in Natanz, an unknown and later revealed to be fictitious group, took credit for the attack. The whole world, including Iran, attributed this attack to Mossad. Former Mossad director Yassi Cohen, in Not So Veiled Hints in his recent book, The Sword of Freedom, all but confirmed it, describing the sabotage in intricate detail. Foreign actors had armed Iranians to help them fight against the regime's forces being used to crack down and oppress the protesters. Channel 14's Tamir Morag reported Tuesday. Iran's foreign minister retweeted the report for his own agenda. Mossad sources again distanced themselves from Morag's report and any explicit acknowledgement of their involvement in the protests. But this is not a time period when Israel can publicly acknowledge this role without damaging the real primary narrative of Iranians trying to free themselves from an authoritarian regime. But the Twitter statements 2 weeks ago were issued as the protests escalated over the collapse of the Iran's rial currency and a spike in fuel prices, as well as the recent crisis over the nationwide water supply. Regarding the water supply, in an ongoing interview in 2022, the book Target Tehran, former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said in an extensive policy review he undertook when he became prime minister, had taught him that the regime was profoundly corrupt and fairly incompetent right now. Large swaths of land don't get water. You turn on the faucets and you get mud. You have all these demonstrations, and people are very frustrated with the IRGC. There were opportunities he left to take advantage of a regime's weaknesses. But according to one account, he also impressed on Barnea that the Mossad needed to be more creative and aggressive. Bennett wanted to make his mark on the new office and would encourage Barnea's aggressive instincts. Bennett also conveyed his views about bringing down Iran's regime in a death by 1,000 cuts strategy parallel to the U.S.'s Cold War strategy against the USSR, which went far and beyond classical military conflict. According to the parallel narrative, those instincts were not only well developed, but it was Barnea who pressed Bennett to be even more daring and alter the rules of the game, with Iran more in Israel's favor. In fact, Barnea gave Bennett a book by Pete Schwelser called Victory, the Reagan administration's secret strategy that hastened the collapse of the Soviet Union, and a descriptions of dozens of non-military techniques designed by the U.S. to take advantage of the inherent weaknesses of an authoritarian regime to get the USSR to fall over time. Besides all of the above, it is well known that Israel knows how to get weapons in the hands of third parties it has an interest in helping. Israel has helped various Palestinian militant groups fight Hamas in Gaza, with the leader of Abu Shabab even publicly rushed to an Israeli hospital to try to save his life after an incident. According to public Ukrainian statements reported by both Israeli and foreign media, Jerusalem has found ways to get dozens of Patriot missiles to Ukraine using indirect channels, and has facilitated the transport via U.S. aircraft of massive amounts of Russian-made Hezbollah weapons, which Israel seized during the 2024 Lebanon invasion to Ukraine, which is also interesting. Over the decades, Israel and Mossad have also found ways to military support other groups, including in Lebanon from the 1970s until 2000 and many other places. Likewise, Iran has accused Kurdish, Iranians, and other large Iranian minorities of working with the Mossad over the years. Only after the air is clear will the full story of Mossad's involvement likely be cleared to be told. But when it comes to the Mossad and Iran, there's always far more that meets the eye. And
you know what I heard there?
What?
Like,
it's a coup.
20,000 words of propaganda bullshit. That's what I heard. Now, they are saying the quiet part out loud, which is, hey, we have Mossad agents in Tehran, which doesn't come as a surprise to
that's
anybody.
What I'm getting at.
But the moment that this is my last point, Corey. The moment, because I think this is part of what you're going to say. The moment that we found out about protests taking place in Iran, which are not unusual. They happen every few years. There's lots of people that are against the regime. And yes, there's a lot of liberalism in Tehran. Like, we just don't know that much about what's going on there on a day-to-day, year-to-year, month-to-month basis. But the first two words in my head were color revolution. Like, we've seen this a million times before. That was my first suspicion. It's a CIA Mossad color operation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so that's basically what I was getting at. Because and then what even made me kind of trying to look into this, and I came across the Jerusalem Post, which is in Israel.
Is it? I never would have guessed.
So. I saw this video, and I think it was shared by someone on the right, and it said the Iranians are completely done with this, with their oppressive government. They're burning down mosques. Mm-hmm. And it was a mosque that was on fire. And I was like, Iranians aren't going to burn down a mosque.
Well,
Mossad would.
Yeah, you're because I'm not even. I'm not
protest anything happening here, even in Iraq when they took down Saddam, where it was a Catholic country. Churches don't get burned.
Right, but I guess it depends on
being raised, right? I guess we're talking old world shit. There was no churches or anything caught on fire in all the protests and riots here in America, even during the Floyd protests.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Churches generally remain
considered and they're all still going to be Muslim. It's not like all of a sudden none of them are Muslim and they just don't respect their Quran and they don't respect their religion. And if they're pissed off at the regime, why are they going to burn a mosque? I don't know. Those are the questions I have. This might be tinfoil hatty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on where the
quiet part out loud that Mossad is infiltrating this, just like here in America, how the FBI and the CIA will infiltrate protest movements here. We just played that other video.
Yeah. I guess as far as the mosque burning thing goes,
it's weird.
I think it would just depend on like how liberal of an area was this? Like, was this burning? I don't know where this mosque was. Was it like in Tehran? Like, all I'm saying is it would be more likely there than it would like in a less liberalized area, right? When you're talking about the own people burning down
urban
the
area,
mosque.
not.
By the way, I was just playing devil's advocate. I'm with you. I would totally believe that Mossad was the one that burned down this mosque. If I were a betting, I wonder what the Kalshi odds would have been prior to the mosque going ablaze on who would have been responsible.
I was almost even second guessing myself there from saying it might have been an AI video, but no, NBC reported on it. Iran or New York Times, BBC. Some of them are just calling them buildings. Buildings burned. And it's like the picture of the mosque.
Yeah, and I don't know. Can we stop with the facade? Can we stop with the facade that we're that this is about the protesters and this is about spreading democracy and freeing Iran from oppression?
Right, and don't get it construed. Liberty Twitter said I stand with the freedom-seeking Iranians, and to that extent, Israel helps with that. Then I stand with Israel. I'm 100% for freedoms that are God-given and are always infringed upon by a government or a regime, some more oppressive than others, some kind of feeling like they're on their way there. America. But
depends on the day.
Right. But if it isn't organic, it isn't going to work. We did this in the 50s.
What'd you say, Bell? Your mic is awfully low.
Oh, my bad. They said I said they don't want Iran to be free. They just want the regime gone.
Right.
They just recognize Somaliland as a sovereign nation. Israel did, which is also interesting.
Because we need a place to deport all the Somalis here in America too. That's why they did that. I'm just kidding.
And the Gazans. Don't forget about the Gazans.
And the
Gazans.
They're gonna
throw them in there too.
They're gonna set up shop on the ocean, dude.
But what I'm getting at is I'm all for people starting a revolution and fighting for their freedom and their inalienable rights. And I would never, ever make light of that. But if it's not organic, then it's straight up bullshit. Look what happened in the 50s in Iran.
All the color revolutions we've ever done have been
America and the UK
disasters.
were a part of a coup in Iran, putting a king in charge because we wanted the oil, and it got so bound up with the people, and they finally got so upset that they decided that theocracy was better than a mercantile government, and that led to where we are now. Is that what's happening in Venezuela again?
We don't know yet. We'll find out soon.
We don't know yet, but it's like we've seen this stuff happen. Like the whole war in Ukraine right now that is happening is because of a coup that we did, at this point 12 years ago. And
the other thing is, it's not exactly,
it's not organic, is what I'm saying. It doesn't work if it's not organic. So like if foreign powers are behind the scenes in this whole fucking riot and revolution, protest, whatever you want to call it, depending on the day, in Iran, then it's just gonna be a sloppy mess, and then it's just gonna cause more destabilization in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants, though, isn't it? There's never been a successful color revolution. And I think the other thing that is missed in all this, because again, we like to think with our Twitter minds and our I don't know where else I was going to go with that, but I said earlier that nobody knows what the hell's going on, And what I mean by that is we can't even get accurate numbers of the amount of people that were killed. We can't even get accurate numbers of how many of those people were revolutionaries harming members of the regime. Literally, is it 200? Is it 12,000? Is it 20,000? Like is being reported by the Barry Weiss led CBS News. We don't even, and then you factor in the fact that Iran, which we learned in the Ted Cruz Tucker Carlson interview, Iran is roughly 90 million people. How many people are we talking about? Are we talking about a million people? Because you're talking about a little over 1%.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I threw this up because Liberty said more than a quarter of Venezuelans have fled their country. They've dropped from being in the top quintile of economic power to one of the poorest countries in the world. Yeah, we still can't believe that they don't like their dictator. No, we're not saying that they like their dictator. But what happens is when you do something like that, you create a power vacuum.
And you can't speak.
And now we have to take
you can't speak for an entire population, especially when you factor in the people that generally that you're talking about are people that fled. So yeah, obviously those people didn't like the dictator that was there because they fled the country.
And so what I'm saying is it's like just uprooting the leader creates a power vacuum. Like it might seem stable 2 weeks later when everyone is still afraid that the American government is just going to pop back in at any moment because they showed that they could. We're getting their oil and stuff like that, sure. But you don't think a leader of the military that was supporting Maduro is completely happy with it? Like you took away the figurehead, you're creating a power vacuum that can culminate over time. If the government props up a leader, the people are going to see that leader just as illegitimate as they would have Maduro, who, based on the whole voting thing he put in showed that he didn't win and he just stayed in power. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like if it's not done organically by the people and there's outside forces, it creates the potential of it blowing up and becoming a bigger problem exponentially.
And it's not about whether it's never about whether the people of said country like their dictator or not. It's about whether or not they're useful to us or useful to Israel. If that were the case, I mean, MBS better watch his ass. You want to talk about a repressive dictatorship that we're totally cool with because do lots of business with them. They're invested in the United States.
The Honduras president was a narco president. It was definitely a narco state. And he got fucking pardoned by President Trump like a month or two before we abducted the other guy for doing the same thing. Like what?
Like I don't want to hold on one second, Bill. I don't want to shit on Liberty's point because I am with you. I'm with him on I'm all for everyone's freedom. But it's just that's not what you get out of governments going in and toppling regimes.
Yeah,
this is never what happens.
I feel like I'm saying the exact same thing, just in a different way. Like I'm
gets
all
worse.
For that happening. Like I'm all for people fighting for their inalienable rights. America is based on that, and people seem to forget that, and it
just hasn't worked.
But
it's never worked.
If it's not organic in that country, and if it's manufactured whatsoever, it gets worse. There are countries that we've helped do that, right? Like the Philippines, South Korea, and they've thrived. But their movement was organic. We just helped. It wasn't manufactured.
I don't know. Korea wasn't that organic. That was literally just the USSR and the fucking in the West fighting over.
But the will of the people
Korea.
were obviously there because South Korea is.
It was a stalemate. I mean, the war was a stalemate.
The
stalemate is still showing.
The 30. What was it? The 53rd parallel. The 35th.
I can't remember which one. Some number. Yeah. Some number. I'm not a math whiz, Corey.
But what I'm getting at is there's got to be it can't be manufactured because it falls apart real fast.
And by the time a lot of people listen, oh, sorry, Bell, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I state before, especially countries like Venezuela, half the reason these countries fail is because they don't do business with us, and we put the craziest sanctions on their country and absolutely cripple them for years before we decide.
Because they're commies.
Later.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck with no pinko.
No,
and I don't really care. And I don't really care if they are commies.
If Venezuela was selling us oil and not China and Russia, we wouldn't have went there.
Yeah, so that is funny, right? Like
about freedom.
That is funny when we talk about because then people try to throw GDP and the affordability of life and the quality of life for these countries, and they're like, look what it's like being a communist in Cuba or Venezuela. They don't get shit. And it's like, well, why don't they get shit? Because they're not even allowed to trade in the US dollar, and they're sanctioned to hell that they can't even get tourists from a country that's a fucking 30-minute plane ride away.
Yeah, it doesn't look great because it doesn't look great for the anti-socialism crowd when you find out that the American economy is basically blackballed out of all socialist economies. And I'm no socialist, you know that. That's not the system I want to live under. But I don't really give a shit if anybody else does. I'll be happy to trade with a communist nation. I don't give a shit. If you make good goods, if you make great goods, if they'll work here, if they're gonna be cheap.
Yeah, give me some Russian vodka. I'll take some Russian vodka.
100%. Well, they're not communist anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Why do you think we've done and everybody feels that way? Who doesn't have 75,000 things in their goddamn house that says made in China on it? Well, it's because we don't have a choice. It's yeah, but if you did have a choice, would you pay for the more expensive item that's made in the USA? Some people would. Those businesses do really well because people do want to buy American made. But a lot of people don't. What are you talking about? Did I just recite a Toby Keith song or something?
Yeah, that song.
We'll put a boot in your ass.
No, it's My Old Man's That Old Man.
I don't remember that song.
Made in America.
Oh, I probably heard it.
Yeah, but it talks about
what I'm saying is you shouldn't be forced to buy American. It should be a choice. You can buy Chinese too. Make things cheaper. That's all I'm saying. That's how it works. It's a global economy.
He says bought something with a tag in the back that says "Made in the USA." You won't buy nothing he can't fix with a WD-40 to Craftsman wrench. Come on, it was one of his bigger songs.
We'll put a boot in your ass. I'm sure if it was played, I would remember it. I won't.
I'll remind myself. I'm gonna set an alarm.
Yeah, please stop with the facade of spreading democracy and freeing Iran from oppression. That might be what you want, as a person, because that's what I want as a person. But that's not what the federal government's doing this for. And don't kid yourself into thinking that it is. Never is, never has been, never will be. Which brings us to Greenland, Corey. Bill, pull up the video of Trump, because it's just getting to a place now where it kind of just seems like Trump's land grabbing a little bit. He's not taking everything. Obviously he just wants the Venezuelan oil. He doesn't necessarily want Venezuela.
No, he said he's the president of Venezuela, the interim president. He said he's in charge.
I guess that's true. Yeah, we're gonna run the country for a while. You're right. Yeah, okay. I was trying to give him a little bit of credit on that one.
No, he is. He's land grabbing.
So how is he manufacturing consent for this one? Check this shit out.
Are you thinking of giving people in Greenland to get them on board with a possible U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that, but right now,
maybe one day,
Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. And by the way, I'm a fan of Denmark too. I have to tell you, and they've been very nice to me. I'm a big fan, but the fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago doesn't mean that they own the land. I'm sure we had lots of boats go there also. But we need that because if you take a look outside of Greenland right now, there are Russian destroyers, there are Chinese destroyers and bigger. There are Russian submarines all over the place. We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't. So we're going to be doing something with Greenland, either the nice way or the more difficult. Please, go ahead, ma'am.
On Greenland, Mr. President, why is it so important to you to own it when you have a military presence there, which you could expand to affect security?
Because
Well, ICE is coming.
Defend it. You don't defend leases the same way. You have to own it. And with a nation,
That's very capitalist of him. That's very free market.
Obama with that horrible deal they made with Iran. It was a short-term deal.
What's up
It was
with this
like a
little Fallout
9-year
pin?
deal. Countries can't make 9-year deals or even 100-year deals. Countries have to have ownership. And you defend ownership, you don't defend leases. And we'll have to defend Greenland. If we don't do it, China or Russia will. It's not going to happen. We are not going to have, and I like China, I like Russia, I love the people of China, I love the people of Russia. I get along very well with President Putin, but I'm very disappointed in him. I get along very well with President Xi. I'm going to go over to China in April. But I don't want them as a neighbor in Greenland. Not going to happen. And by the way, and NATO's got to understand that. I'm all for NATO. I saved NATO. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have a NATO right now. But we're not going to allow
Your terms are acceptable, sir.
to occupy Greenland, and that's what's going to happen if we don't.
So you like how he goes. He goes, I would really like to make a deal, but if they don't make a deal, we're gonna have to do things the hard way. That's not making a deal.
He didn't say hard; he said difficult.
Yeah, we can do it the nice with the easy way or the whatever the fuck he said. You heard what he said. I don't say what he said.
No, watch it turn into just like some sort of like carve out of the island where our military base is technically under our control, or something like that. And he's gonna say it was a win because remember he's the author of Art of the Deal.
Yeah, and like the way he's trying to manufacture consent for this, like
we gotta have it.
We
gotta have
horrible,
it, man.
Because if we don't, Russia will.
That's gonna be the talking point from people now.
Oh,
they're just gonna mimic that.
Oh God. Oh, you mean Russia has naval ships in the fucking North Sea? How dare they have vessels around Greenland? Like they're really close to Greenland too.
They're closer than we are, aren't they?
I don't know. I think if you go north, maybe. If you go up around where the pole is and come back around, I don't know. But my God. Yep, they're just gonna roll in. They're just going to roll in and invade Greenland. And by the way, if you do that, Trump, NATO is over anyway. A NATO country attacked another one.
Germany and France sent troops to Greenland today.
I don't know what that means. That could mean a lot of things.
To defend against American incursion.
To defend, I guess.
To defend whom, though? Against the imminent Russian attack, the Russian-Chinese attack. You know, that navy that doesn't have a blue water navy. Don't you just love how China's like going to take over the world militarily out of one mouth, and then out of the other side of their mouth, they don't really have a significant blue water navy, the Chinese. So they're not much of a threat of the open seas.
So it's tough to see on like Google Maps. It looks like Greenland is like kind of far away from Russia, but like when you look at it from the pole,
like on a globe, yeah,
like they're pretty fucking close. And like
we gotta take over the Arctic.
Thank God everyone's gonna look at Google Maps for this and be like, how close are they? And it's gonna look like it's far as fuck, and they're gonna be like, oh, well, that's fucking stupid. You're gonna
see one of those memes with like an arrow drawn across the map.
Yeah. Oh, what? They have to go through America to get to Greenland? Because from this right here, it looks like they have to go past Finland and Sweden.
Hey, you guys want to hear something funny?
Yes.
There's a 1951 Defense of Greenland Agreement. It's a treaty that we signed with Denmark and it's a Cold War pact that allows extensive U.S. military operations under NATO, giving the U.S. broad rights to establish bases, operate freely, and use key facilities like Thule Air Base. This agreement, reaffirmed by subsequent understandings in the 2004 amendment, grants significant military access and control, though requiring consultation with Denmark and Greenland on major changes.
There you go. We already have an agreement to defend it. Yeah. And I like how Trump's like, you don't defend a lease like you do if you own it. You got to own it. As if he's like a 28-year-old like plumber who just finally got his own business and bought his first home. He's like, yeah, that shitty old apartment, I didn't take very good care of that, but I own this one, so I'm going to take care of it now. And if keeping Putin and Xi away from Greenland is so fucking important, wouldn't you defend it even if you were, quote unquote, leasing it?
It's because he doesn't want them getting the lithium, the oil, the zinc, and all the other shit that Greenland is riddled with.
Oh, it's about Lindsey Graham's minerals. That's what it's about. He just needs those minerals.
You're gay! Watch him get a deal with that and a deal with the expanded military base, and then he's going to call it a win.
Fine.
That's what's going to happen.
Whatever. I hate it here. Why don't you just get out? As you can see, you guys saw Trump flipping off the auto worker, right? That's why Bell is actually recording from a Ford assembly line tonight. With it looks like President Trump actually walked in right behind him. It's pretty. There he is. Look at that. Talking to one of those Ford employees.
Back there protecting pedophiles.
He came back to apologize.
Careful, Bell. You're going to get $800,000 on a GoFundMe.
I think it's a very rude introduction.
The symbolism, though. Okay, so Trump defenders are going to say it was funny and the guy deserved it and whatever, and then people who hate Trump are going to say the opposite, right? We already know that. We don't need to hash that out, right? But what I do want to point out is this: the symbolism of this elite billionaire who became president of the United States flipping off a blue-collar guy is just way too perfect.
Dude, it's almost as bad.
This is unreal, dude.
As someone running for president and saying, I don't work for you, to a U.S. auto worker in America.
Presidents need to stop coming to Michigan and talking to the workers.
Corvette.
The workers apparently do not want to talk to them. Oh, something bad always happens. Every time it's here. Why is that? Detroit is different.
The next day, Machado came and fucking gave Trump her Nobel Peace Prize.
She gave him her Nobel Peace Prize?
I think that's true. Bell, confirm that for me. I know she brought it.
Like a half hour ago, she let him keep it.
Congratulations. You now see president of Venezuela.
Oh my God. I can't like it's so pathetic how much she's trying to butter him up, and then it's even more pathetic that he actually fucking took it. Like, can you imagine if somebody was like, I think you should have this. I won this beautiful award, and I'd be like, no, dude, that's yours. You won that. I don't want that.
It would be like somebody other than like your grandpa, like some old guy that like you held, like you got close to them because you power washed his driveway once and ended up drinking a beer with him on his porch, and he's like, I got this Medal of Honor in World War II. I want you to have this. It's like, what? No, give that to your kids, dude.
Oh, it's so pathetic
for these piece of shit libtards.
Fucking, I don't want your participation trophy, Grandpa. Oh my God, I can't stop laughing.
Oh man.
Oh, he got her Nobel Prize the next day. The day after he flips off an auto worker.
What?
Oh, that is just too stupid.
Childish Gambino. This is America.
Oh my God.
Seriously overweight.
Do you have anything else you want to add to that whole flipping off the auto worker thing? Because there's not much else to say unless you're gonna like virtue signal and take a side on something so dumb.
Before he flipped the guy off, he looked at him and said, "Fuck you," twice. He said, "Fuck you."
Oh
Lord! And then gave him the finger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did see the video.
Like fuck you. That thing he does with his hand.
Yeah.
You're gay.
Oh, anyway.
He
got
said
TikToks for us.
I saw an F word and it was.
You're fired. Get out of here.
You got talks for us? You got some talks.
I got one.
All right.
So it's Dr. Oz.
Uh-oh.
You know, because he's all about the health of America and keeping people healthy.
I think I know this one.
And it's you'll keep working and you like it.
Seriously overweight.
Is what I have it titled as. But yeah, Dr. Oz is over here talking about all these things that are going to get people healthy, and then he quickly switches to just they're going to get to work for more years.
Are you pulling it up or is Bell?
Oh, I thought Bell was, but I can do it.
You can't think he can find it. You didn't send it, did you?
I did. It says you'll keep working and you like it.
All right, you got it. Throw it up there.
I'll throw it up there.
I need sound, Corey.
I'm working on it.
Average American. If we're able to get the average American who today retires on average at age 61, get them just to work 1 year longer because they feel so vital, so strong, so bullish about their future because they're feeding their bodies nutrients that are essential to their high functioning productivity, we will increase the overall GDP of our nation by trillions of dollars. So we will reduce healthcare expenses. At the same time, we jazz up the U.S. economy with trillions of dollars created by the productivity of American workers. If we're able to get the average American
work longer so we can take more taxes.
Right. That's what it's like. That's why you want people to be healthy so they can work longer.
So they can pay for more forever wars and drug wars and Gestapos on the streets. Please work longer, pay more taxes.
And then this other
what
one
Uncle Sam wants.
It's Ho Man just candidly saying something in a video that I also found a wee bit concerning.
I'm guessing this one's Tom Homan.
Yeah, Tom Homan.
Bell's looking.
He's looking. Does he got
Does the internet go out? Does the internet go out?
Daddy, you're my daddy.
I don't know.
I got nothing for you, bub. There it is. Whoop.
God damn it, Dan.
What'd I do?
Follow ICE,
There we go.
and film ICE. You know what? You can protest. They have that right. But when you cross the line, and we've proven it, if you interfere or impede or assault an ICE officer, you will be prosecuted. And one thing I'm pushing for right now, Laura, we're going to create a database where those people that are arrested for interference, impediment, assault, we're going to make them famous. We're going to put their face on TV. We're going to let their employers in their neighborhoods, in their schools.
We don't want them doxing our agents, but we're going to dox them.
They say they're taking time off work to protest. I bet you a lot of them are calling in sick. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. But we're going to make sure everybody knows who they are. We're going to broadcast. They want to broadcast the ICE officer that was nearly killed all over the internet. We're going to broadcast every one of these people we arrest. This job and these people who want to
So now the government's gonna start doxing people.
I got nothing. I mean, did our border czar really just say that essentially we're going to surveil you, and not only are we going to surveil you, we're going to publicly humiliate you? The federal government is going to do that to its citizens. That's what Tom Homan said, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not bad enough that they're already telling us not to believe our lying eyes all the time. But now they're actually going to publicly shame you and flog you for exercising their rights as an American citizen. Got it.
Yeah.
It's illegal. It's illegal to record ICE in action.
Yeah, that's a Reason article.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any more?
Yahoo News is reporting that ICE reportedly stole a 10th grader's phone and then sold it for cash.
That's got to be an Onion article.
No. Immigrants and customs enforcement agents reportedly stole a teenage boy's phone and then seemingly pawned it afterwards for cash. The details come from alarming. It's from a ProPublica article.
Oh, okay. Well, take that with a grain of salt.
Well, they're considered credible. They just lean left.
Oh, okay. They're also Bill Gates funded, so there's that too.
Is ProPublica Bill Gates funded?
At least they were. They used to be at some point. I believe they still are.
Ew, gross.
What else I got here? I already talked about that. Oh, in Macomb, the Macomb County clerk calls for more voting after he says non-citizens have voted. Apparently, the Macomb County clerk pulled 239 non-citizens' names for jury duty, which means they're registered to vote. And then 14 of the 239 registered to vote at some point. And then of those ones, I think there was like 4 that they said that voted. But yeah. So,
God.
oh no, 3. Sorry, 3 individuals appeared to have voted, and one voted more than once on occasion.
So that's another problem in and of itself, right? How does somebody vote more than once? Like, voting isn't illegal, and finding a way to do so.
No,
I
don't think it was
see
in
how
the
that
same,
slips through.
I don't think it was in the.
Oh, not the same election. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, how does one name vote twice?
Yeah, we're
Gotcha. I'm
sorry,
that.
including one who voted on more than one occasion.
There we go.
Yeah,
that makes that's far better.
Yeah. Like, let me leave it to the actual.
Let me rephrase
writers. Let me leave it to Max Reinhardt from the Detroit News, and let me use his verbiage than mine, other than mine. But yeah, no, we're never gonna hear the bullshit about 2020 election being stolen, and if our fucking states like ours don't get their shit together, Charlie has been talking about this and how many people, like, we have more people on our voter registration than we do as citizens that are legally able to vote, and like, it's a bit of a mess.
How many of those people are dead?
Right, like a vast majority of them are dead, but
it's like, it's really hard to shake off the like rigged election moniker when you have that going on. Just like earlier when I said that it's getting really, really hard for the Trump administration to shake off the Nazi moniker when you're sending Gestapo out into the street. Like, this is kind of the same deal. Like, it kind of makes it hard for you to shake that like accusation of rigging an election when these things keep popping up.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, I think that's it. Oh, I got nothing else.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
Papers, please.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Let me see your papers, please.
Anyway, why don't you tell the people where they can find us, Corey?
All right. Absurd Podcast is found on all social media and podcast platforms. Our website is absurdiveshow.com, and we can be found at Absurdive on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Instagram and Twitter at LibsurdivPod, and our TikTok videos can be found at Libsurdive Podcast, and you can reach out directly at libsurdivepod@gmail.com. Subscribe today.
Parts are always funny. Anyway, this has been Libsurdive. Intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy. The world's smartest internet show. Bella Bodysnatcher on the ones and twos. He, as always, has been Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
It's been Libsurdive, and we are out of here.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back. Somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.